RD Mobile is focused on our mobile app products, and as well as some custom apps. So we have two flagship products. One is called Event Central, which is a fit-for-purpose event app, and the other is called Engagefully, which is a year-round membership app, which also supports all of the same events functionality. We've found that in the US, the membership organizations are a little farther ahead on the adoption curve. Mm-hmm. So most organizations have already been using apps for at least a few years, some more than 5, whereas here in the UK and in Europe, generally speaking, most organizations are looking at their first. We do have a title. It might be a little bit provocative.
Sure.
It's called The End of the Web as We Know It. The role of the website, the traditional website, is rapidly shifting. And what we're seeing is that while it may have been the center of the universe for most of the past 20 years, that's rapidly eroding. More time is being spent on mobile devices. And so, we're in a situation where, how do we craft our offerings now to be where our members are, where the users are? Because that 5 hours is not being spent on the websites. Now, that's not to say that the website still doesn't have an important role, mm-hmm. But organizations really need to begin to think about what that shift means. If their members or their stakeholders are accessing more of their content, more of their resources, more of the membership benefits through a mobile device, what's the best way to surface that?
Sure.
And a lot of times that can be in an app, but there's also kind of a subtle shift in strategy. So it's not just squeezing your website onto the mobile device. It's really, it's really optimizing it for the mobile experience, where people are pulling out their phones for 2 minutes when they're bored, which is a whole different use case than sitting down for a deep dive to the traditional website.
Absolutely.
First and foremost is to understand what you want to accomplish from a business perspective. I mean, it really has to be tied to an objective, some KPI, some way of measuring future success, and what are we trying to accomplish as an organization. The second thing would be looking at what others are doing mm-hmm. in the space, because a lot of times, especially in the mobile space, people come to us and it's almost like they're inventing a new thing. But really, yes. There are a lot of solutions out there, a lot of examples of what organizations have been doing successfully. So, we advocate looking at what your competition is doing, looking at things you like and deciding what you like about them, and using that to help guide the effort. The offerings out in the space have evolved to the point now where you really don't have to go to that expense
yes.
In order to accomplish things. And the subtle thing is that, when you're developing an app or deploying an app, it's not just the initial cost. It's how do you maintain it over time?
How do you keep it current?
How does it stay up to date with the latest best practices? And I think that's what a lot of organizations kind of fail to see at the beginning.